Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We're about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty, half my age, at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's all right. Don't even worry about it.
All right, tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink. Cause it look like you now.
One drink? All right, I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome. One of the things we want to brought to you by is Go Green. Go Trim, they've been around for over 8 years. Been doing great things. One of the things I can tell you is getting into that family and helping them with one of the things that I love to do best. And that's get that trash away from you, but understand that I've been doing this for a very long time, over 32 years in business. So again, what I'm adding to them is something I would love for you to be able to see, and that's getting that trash away from you. And all you got to do is just give us a call. Go to the website, Go Green, and you might see me, or you might see me when I come out. That's right. That's me. Go Green. Now, I got to get back to this person real rock one before they kids. He come in this bad boy each and every time, so would you please understand who I'm talking about? Crafty. How you doing, big baby?
I'm doing fabulous, Slow J.
Ooh, let
You
me
know,
tell
flow, everything is just love, man.
man, you feel some of the same things, maybe. She still coming here each and every time. But that, hello.
Yeah, man. I love life, man.
All right.
Don't you love life, man?
Let me tell you something, man.
We winning.
Every day we wake up and can make changes in our life. You winning.
Winning. Every day you wake up,
You winning.
right?
But you want to be depressed about the other day when you winning.
Because you could be 6 feet to
Wow. He can let you know when it's in, but you still have a beginning because you have another day.
I'm saying the thing is, Jada, was keeping that in the forefront of your mind is what keeps you alive.
Mm.
It's what keeps you breathing and seeking joy, and seeking fun, and seeking production in life.
Preach.
And you could be 6 feet deep, but you got another chance to do something good with yourself. You got another chance to enjoy. You got another chance to see a loved one. You got another chance to go on a trip or accomplish a goal. And if you're not living life with that in your mindset, man, you're missing the mark.
Yes, you are.
And I think that's a great way to introduce our show.
Yes.
This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craft Man. This is my boy, Smooth Jay. And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. Just an opportunity for us to be leaders here in our own community. And of course, we got a fabulous show lined up for you tonight.
Yes, we do.
And the title of our show tonight is, are you just seeing the beauty, or are you listening to the message?
Okay.
Are you just seeing the booty? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you just seeing the booty? Or are you listening to the message? I think that ought to be an interesting show, Jay.
Well, I'm gonna let the show go for it today.
Because I don't want to get into it too early, but I was listening to my boss talk to an old friend of his today. And he said to his friend, they tricked me to get here. And I'm asking myself, I wonder if he was looking at how big this company is and how much money people make, or was he really listening to the message? The message was, I need you to come in here and run a sales force and get things tight. But you looking at people might be lounging and making big money and driving fancy cars. You don't know that people come to work grinding every day, right? So there can be some fallacies in what we're looking at and the messages that we hear. So we're going to cover it tonight. And as we do, we want you folks to find some growth. This is therapeutic. Find a way to grow in the midst of this conversation, because as we continue it, there's going to be some really, really powerful nuggets. And I don't want to try to point them out, but you can learn about life through Bar Talk with Jay.
All day long.
And we want to thank you again for being here. We start the show off with a prayer,
Yes.
always.
Give it to him.
And I'm going to pray about the subject.
Why not?
And so here we go. Heavenly Father, we come into your presence now
Yes.
just to thank you for who you are and all that you are in our life.
Yes.
We thank you for your strength. We thank you for your love. We thank you for the patience that you are giving us to live this life. We ask, Heavenly Father, that you would give us a greater understanding of how to perceive the truth, how to perceive the beauty, and how to perceive the message. Lord, don't let us be taken astray by looking at the wrong things, by listening to the wrong things, by perceiving the wrong message. They said go left, but somehow we ended up going to the right. We're just asking, Lord, for a way to understand people and to understand opportunities in the world so that we can always make the best choices.
Yes.
And we can always understand the best options. We can always understand the right direction. Because sometimes when we get misconstrued and we get run amok and we get sideswiped because we are not hearing the real message that is before us. And so we ask, Lord, for your divine intelligence, your guidance, and understanding. Be here with us in this show. Do your good and perfect work. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. We do that.
Amen.
Do that.
Woo! I think this conversation is so profound that it deserves some special attention, James.
Okay.
And let me tell you what's popping up in my spirit. How many times have you moved forward? You made a decision,
Right.
and you moved forward in life with a project or a person or a relationship, but you move forward, and then weeks or months or years later, you find out you made the wrong damn decision. You went the wrong direction. All the signs were there. All the facts were there. All the data was in front of you, but you made a different decision because you weren't looking at the truth.
Mm.
And the truth began to be revealed, unwrapped, as you did business with this person or trying to be in a relationship with this person. And those truths came out kind of early, but yeah, you stayed. You stayed for months. You stayed for years. Are you just seeing the beauty or are you listening to the message? Why would you start to show off, Jim?
I got two different ways I want to come. I want to go the business way and I want to come a relationship way.
Okay.
You just came with a relationship way about my bidding, where I looked at how we could be a dynamic team, and I kept hearing something different. And I fought what I heard compared to what I visioned.
Ah, that's big.
I put a
What you heard versus what you envisioned. They can be different.
totally, yes. So what I was hearing didn't align with what I wanted to envision. So I followed my vision. And that led me astray. It led me with problems because I stopped really listening for I can create a vision because I'm a visionary.
Right.
I know I can see some things and I can make things come to fruition, but I didn't hear how another person was seeing it so much differently. And it was talking and I wasn't totally listening. And I'm a good listener.
Right.
But when I got that vision, I stopped a quality of life that I should have never done. I made a mistake. And I hope everyone else might learn from mine. Don't make it theirs. Because if I had continued listening and kept the vision, I would have seen it in the line.
Right.
At the same time.
Right.
But no, I wanted to be the man to create this. And I can say I did it. I'm the one that made this happen. Okay. I wanted to be a showboat. I wanted to be a person creating something from a picture in the head compared to understanding what a person is saying. That has a lot of input in that vision. And I just made it about me. And when I start aligning in that vision that I see, I start having problems with that person because I'm going against things that she corrected me early on that she did not want. and we had conversations. So it's not a person that didn't just want to ride with me. It's just that person seeing me in a different way. And she expressed what she seen, and I expressed something totally
And
different.
there's something sweet about two people who really want to be together, but they aren't made for each other.
Oh,
Like, and it happens all the time. So we can meet people and we like them.
right.
We like them, especially on the surface, because we don't know them.
Right.
We like them and we laugh with them and we have some good times with them. But if we listen a layer or two deeper, we'll figure out that they're selfish. We'll figure out they may not necessarily be selfish, but they're not team players. They're not relationship oriented. Perhaps they don't really they're not going anywhere. They may be fun to hang out with, but they're never going to create a successful life because they don't have a vision. They don't have a dream. They're not fired up about going somewhere in life. And they were trying to tell you that all they were talking about was having fun.
Right.
And you were talking about, hey, we're gonna build this house and we're gonna build this business and we're gonna take these trips and we're gonna live this life and I want a family. But you never heard any of that stuff coming out of the other person. And so you really didn't wake up to the truth till it was almost too late, right? Now, I love this concept of what you heard versus what you envisioned. And let's just break that down a little bit because I think that that's happening a lot.
Okay.
And that's exactly what I just talked about. You came into the company of someone who was sharing messages that were quite short on your vision board.
Correct.
But yet you long to have a special person in your life. And so you kind of settled. Yeah, you kind of settled because you had a dream of having this special someone in your life, but you were enjoying this person to such degree that you were overlooking their faults. And you were biting your lip with things that you really didn't like and didn't want. And yet 2-3 years down the way, you were hoping that it was going to be different.
You need to be a therapist.
It's not going to be different. What this conversation is causing us all to do is to really, even in the midst of this thing, this relationship or this new job or whatever,
Right.
sometimes we got to take a step back. Sometimes we got to go and sit on the sideline and say, what's really going on here? What's really going on here is I'm trying to enter a relationship with someone who's really been hurt from their last 2 divorces. What's really going on here is she's a sweet woman, but she's in a position where she's got to raise 2 kids and she's real busy. She really ain't got time for a man right now. As much as I love her, as much as I want to be with her, as much as the love making is good and all that good stuff,
Right.
she really ain't got time for a man. Maybe she's a good woman and she's focused on taking care of her kids and she don't really know how to treat a man. And so now I got to spend time kind of coaching and teaching and dealing with something less than I want, less than I expect, because that's not who she is.
Uh-oh.
So here's the thing, is that settling does not work.
Right.
It doesn't work in a real relationship, and it doesn't work in dreaming. Settling only leaves you short of your desired outcome. And so you can't be so excited about being in a relationship that you miss interpreting the person who you're in a relationship with.
Right.
Because, I won't say 9 times out of 10, but more than likely the person you're meeting is not for them. We need to be choosing people, not just ending up with people. And that's not to say that, I'm sorry, there can't be some divine interaction where, you pray and then you end up meeting a good person and you fly by the 9 knuckleheads and you end up going to a good person. Maybe you got an introduction, maybe your auntie introduced you to somebody she worked with because she been working with them for years. She know they got integrity and she know that they'll follow through and she know that they won't let either one of them down. and he'll come through, find you somebody who's been vetted a little bit, right? Um, when I think of this subject, Jay, thinking about, I always think about the booty. Are you seeing the booty? Or are you listening to the message? And men have a problem with this because when you're in the company of a beautiful woman,
Right.
your spirit just keeps wanting to say yes. Boy, I would love to have her by my side. I would love to be able to take her home to my family. I would love to be able to, if I'm gonna spend my money on somebody, I want to spend my money on somebody I like. Somebody who good looking and wise and who make good love to me and who know how to buy me gifts and who know how to treat me. But
You right.
even those things aren't enough.
Right.
We've said this many a times throughout our shows that love is not enough.
But
If you are on the productive ladder of life,
Yeah.
you have to find a like-minded person who's on the productive ladder of life.
Mhm.
Because soon and very soon, if you're on the productive ladder of life and they're not, resentment will take place. You will find yourself regretting being with them. You will find yourself calling them slackers. You will find yourself frustrated with their willingness to grow or their willingness to get life done or their willingness to overcome hurdles. They'll be complaining about something that you think like, come on, man, get over it. You've been complaining about the same stuff for years. There'll come a place where you find yourself incongruent. You got to find a like-minded person.
Mhm.
And that's not always easy. It's not to say that you couldn't find somebody who's not like-minded and end up with them, but love is not enough.
I agree.
You need somebody going the same direction. You need somebody going the same pace. You need somebody who talks the same talk. You need somebody who's got the same inner strength. That's what we all need. And it's unfortunate you oftentimes you just can't find that by yourself. You really need divinity, right?
Say
And so, here's what I come to. No matter how fine they are, I'm going to take it to the Lord.
Hey, there you go.
No matter how beautiful they are, I'm still going to ask for a divine response as to whether I need to be spending time with this person, as to whether this person is right for me. And when I haven't, I always have realized where I made a mistake.
Okay.
But when I have, I've always ended up in a place where at least this person was able to hold me up for a couple of months. At least this person showed me that I can love again. At least this person, we had a lot of great times together, right? I don't, if I pray over it, I always end up with some good stuff at the end. But when I don't pray over it, I feel like I wasted my time. I feel like I've wasted my efforts and I wasted my money. Nobody likes that.
Well, let me tell you, have some fun with this. I'm gonna go with the other aspect. This is business. One of my business partners, not to even mention his name, because again, I'm not talking in a positive light, and I don't like all that. But he showed me something that I like to say I went off of a vision he gave me that he didn't stand behind. One of the things I don't do is I don't always brag. I tell you, I've been there 30-something years, but in the waste industry, one of the things about me, I'm good at what I do. Yeah. And I'm good enough that I can say, all right. So when I deal with somebody and I want to do some business with somebody, I need some same integrity. I need somebody that's gonna come about what you say you're gonna do.
Right.
This person was coming to me and he's talking big talk and he can bring this kind of money to the table. And it takes a lot in the garbage industry. A lot of people wouldn't realize it, but the trucks, the maintenance, the things that you got to do, you in the millions. So if you want to get into this, hey, consult with me. Don't just go out there and go do some stuff because it'll hurt you. Because again, there's big money and it can be great if you do it right. And it's a process.
Right.
So working with big companies, I noticed the process.
Right.
And in noticing that, I noticed some failures and some great successes working with a huge company. So I took that and then I went to a small company to grow it. And then my business partner comes along and he's talking about how much financing he can bring, things he can do. Now, I did some research on him, but we're doing something new. So I couldn't find anything of what I was looking for because he didn't do it. He's going off of me. He's doing everything off of what I can do. And I do it. he wasn't able to deliver everything because everybody didn't see it in him. I didn't know this. So I went down a rabbit hole with him, and we created a big, nice company. All right. It's easy for me to hold my integrity, but it's kind of hard for me to hold you for the things that you keep trying to do that you're not good at. They made a bad business deal based off of a thought of what he could do compared to what he can do.
So what it sounds like is you started into a relationship believing fallacy
Yes.
that he was going to follow through on what he said he could follow through, but you didn't understand his reputation.
Did not.
And if you had understood his reputation, what his reputation said was he doesn't follow through on his commitments. He might get to a place where he'll bamboozle you or he'll disappear. He might get to a place where he makes a big promise in a critical time, don't come through and leave you out there. And
I sure would tell you, you're a therapist, because it happened.
yes, and when you get to a place where you realize people will leave you out there, you got to put the brakes on.
You do.
You know,
And it's very difficult when you have people that's behind you and they're following. I'm a leader, right? So I had to build this up. He is the head, but I am the leader in this organization. So everybody's more believing in me than him because they see me in my interactions all the time. So now I'm dealing with somebody and they're showing some things that people are going to question. All right. Meetings that he would throw and not show up. Things he say do not come to fruition. We're doing bigger things and they don't happen. You know, now next to me, I already know the person, but I'm going to make them know we're going to stay true to what I say. And what we're going to do, we're going to give good customer service and we're going to make this happen. We have done that with years. And I wanted to stand on that because that's me. But now you're making promises to me that's not coming true and I'm not getting the money I need. We're going to fall short.
yeah, and when someone consistently breaks promises, you have to start depending on the fact they're going to break the next promise.
Correct. So now you know I don't believe you.
You can't count on them anymore. And if you do, you're a fool.
Correct.
You really have to start preparing yourself and behaving in a way that says, okay, I hear the promise, but I can't lean on it. I hear the promise, but I'm only going to go as far as I can manage us. I'm not going to go on what you said. And that's a difficult relationship to deal with because
It is.
it ain't but so many times you can disappoint me that I have to realize that you're no good for me.
And that hurts.
And that hurts a lot, you know. Here again, and I try to do this every show, there just comes a place where you realize that what you thought you had is not what you really have.
The reality hurts.
And it does hurt, but what hurts more is to keep living a fallacy.
Now, that right there is where I had to shift.
You have to shift.
Because
You have to make the shift.
you gave me an image and I already had a vision. Now your image is tarnished, but my vision is still clear. I knew what I was bringing into this and I knew what I was going to do with this. And the one thing that keeps me going is because I never fooled myself.
Right.
I never had nobody else fooled along the way. My employees always knew what the plan was and I communicated quite well.
Right.
They understood that when things happen, my back was up against the wall because other things wasn't transpiring.
Right.
Not just me throwing fingers and pointing, because I'm a leader. I don't have time for that. But I let them know I had to do some things differently because I didn't have the back. I ain't got a lie for nobody. But I'm going to stand true on integrity because they believing in me.
Yeah, and I can picture a situation where you buy into the boss's BS or the boss's promises, and then you're the manager. You know, you got 6, 8, 10, 20, 100 people counting on you. And now you're having to balance what the manager's telling you versus what you know and versus what you have to, handle and maybe some of the problems that might come up as a result of those lies and fallacies and not being truthful. You're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place.
And time to time.
And here's a good way to kind of shift the discussion. You've been seeing the beauty and not really listening to the message. And then you come to a place where, okay, now I got to call somebody out. Now I got to check somebody. Now I got to fix this situation because I can't let this debt keep building up. I can't let this lack of production keep holding up. I can't keep dealing with these little young-minded arguments in my relationship when I'm trying to have a mature relationship. I can't deal with somebody who flies off the handle, ain't got no patience. Think they always gotta pop off at the mouth. You know, like there comes a place where you got to put your foot down and you got to say, hey, I got to tell you what I thought I saw ain't what I really saw. And this thing really ain't working out for me. And I actually did it with my boss last month. At the end of the month, we were having some challenges, really some communication challenges, I think totally on his part, because I've been doing the same thing for years, but now I have an anomaly with a manager who's not doing things right. And so I shook his hand at the end of the month and I said, hey, I'm really going to need your help for next month. I want you and I to work well together. But I want to let you know this is a make or break month for me. Right? I'm checking him.
What it sound like to me?
I'm telling him right out front where I'm unhappy. I don't need to tell y'all the reason I'm unhappy, but if you don't try in our relationship to make this better for us, then I'm going to tell you I'm leaving you alone. And when I say I'm out, I'm not leaving this great company. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start telling on his bad behavior. I ain't running.
What you say? I ain't losing my money.
You got to get out. Right? So if one of us got to go, you got to go.
I'm voting you off the line.
That's right. And it just so happens that the way I feel is I'm not alone. It just turns out that everybody feels that way, but nobody's able to voice their opinions.
But you strong enough that you can't.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm trying to manage my manager, because sometimes these guys come into a management role and they don't even understand the footwork of the performer. And so you start asking for stuff and pushing for stuff and you getting in the way of performance. And so now I got to check you because ain't nothing going to get in the way of my performance. I'm a producer. I'm a proven producer. I'm always going to produce whether you want me to produce or not, whether you like the way I produce or not. I'm a producer. But if you're getting in my way, then we're going to have to deal with that. Right? You have to deal with that because you get in the way of my money. You get in the way of my stress levels. You may be getting in the way of my customers. You may be getting in the way of my customer service experience and my surveys. And I may be missing bonuses because of you. I may be blowing relationship upstairs. They think I'm the one making the mistake all the time. You're the one making the mistake. So now I'm going to have to make sure that your burdens don't come over here.
Now, ladies, I want y'all to hear this because, see, he's smooth, but he can be fierce. See, that's where we balance. He ain't got to be hard all the time. This whole thing is he's giving you where I'm letting you be you, but don't you mess with me. And I like to say that's the integrity thing that good people have, where I allow things to happen, but after a while, I'm about to shut things down because it's interfering when we both know what I'm capable of.
Yeah, and Jay, sometimes you got to stand in a place where you really defend yourself.
Right.
Because, sometimes there's situations that people will walk over you and they'll do whatever they think they can do. And you got to stand up for yourself, right? But I'm not Billy Badass. I'm just saying that, hey, I'm getting to a place where I'm about to make a great shift. And I just need to know that you either with me or you're not with me. Do we need to continue to try?
Same thing in a relationship.
Same thing in a relationship. If you're willing to try with me, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep fighting this thing out. But if you're not willing to try and just me being the seasoned professional that I think I am, I know what I need to do to be successful.
Right.
If you start getting in my way, then I'm going to have to push you out the way.
So,
right, I'm going to have to eliminate you from the program.
So are you going to be part of this Mona Lisa I'm about to create? Or are you going to be watching the Mona Lisa? So you can be a part of what I'm going to create. And I love how you said it because, again, that's how I felt about my business partner. Because he gave me a vision that was kind of fallacy, falseness, but I already was moving towards something of a greatness. Now, you're going to be a part of this greatness or you're going to be watching this greatness.
Right.
Because the greatness is going to happen because I already know what moves I have to make.
Right.
No different in a relationship. I pictured one thing that I wasn't listening, so I stopped. A great thing, listening skill, to make sure it comes to fruition. And that's what I'm saying. Even in business, there's some things that I had a sight of his that made mine a little blurry, but I made mine be the upfront picture. Okay, because I can control what I envision. I can't always control somebody else.
Right. And
That's the power of us.
that's the power of us. But at the same time, you know, the famous words of a salesperson is always be closing. And so this person may not be meeting your needs.
Right.
You got sold on a tree, they may not be meeting your needs. But some people are coachable.
I like it.
Some people you can work with. And that's some people
We don't give up on that.
you don't give up on everyone, but
There's a time.
before you give up, you gotta try.
Now, that's why I really like this to be in this show when it comes to seeing the beauty and listening to the message. Because are we really putting forth our best efforts?
Are we trying?
And because
Right.
I like to say a lot of times when things just don't work, it's like move on. And it's no, you don't let all your hurts push you to be a one-hitter quitter. Just understand there is work to be done.
Yeah.
And if that person is giving you a lot of the input that you need, then it needs to be some tweak. You don't always have to cut loose everybody to be by self. This is realize self is the problem.
The fine line, Jay, and I've been saying this for years,
Mhm.
is patience is a virtue. It is. But you have to be a fool to wait for help.
I didn't want to go there, but you're totally right. And again,
Right.
you have to have a time span, but you also have to give time.
Yeah.
And patience of virtue is meaning I give you time to adjust, to understand what's going on, but I'm not going to give you all the time.
Right.
Because I have to keep things moving. And I love you saying closing because you're a closer. And you're preventing me from doing what I naturally do.
Right.
And a person is with you shouldn't stop you from doing your natural.
Right.
They should add value to your natural.
Right.
Because now they're an asset. Because I know what he do. So guess what? I'm not gonna fuss at him. When he comes home, I'm gonna make sure how's his mental. Like I said at check-in, baby, did you have a good day? Even on your bad day, I'm gonna give you your best drink. I'm gonna do things. You know, this is what we're looking for. All right. And these are assets. Don't be a liability when it's always just about you, when you just ask questions without a care. Oh, you had a bad day, so what? What do you mean, so what? We're on the team. When I'm at work, you're with me because I'm thinking about this for us. I'm winning daily for us. And then you act like you ain't with us. That is more of a stress because I fight people at my job. Now I gotta come home and fight you. It's gonna be a separation. And it might not be the job first, it might be you. So my whole thing is I'm constantly battling because my job is to provide, protect, and you're hindering it.
Right.
And that's what this show is about, is recognizing the things that we do. But we can get better at being stronger couples. Because everybody like, well, I can do it without a man. I can do it without a woman. We can do a lot of great things with the right woman.
So
That's what we miss.
So one of the things that we talked about earlier, what you heard versus what you envisioned.
Mm-hmm.
If you meet somebody and you don't have the same vision,
Mm-hmm.
you got to check out quicker.
Okay.
You know,
But what if you get in a relationship and neither one of you have a bitch?
neither one of you have vision, and you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be ugly. Right? Because there's gonna be nobody to lead, there's gonna be nobody to take control, there's gonna be nobody to say yes, no, go, let's go left, let's go right. And then you're gonna wind up at the same exact place 10 years from now, and you're gonna be bored with each other. You're gonna hate the fact that you made the decision to be with each other. So you know, one of the things that I like, and it's happening a lot, vice versa.
Okay.
But let's just say a man meets a woman,
All right.
and she's a good mother.
Mhm.
She's a good homemaker. She's a good, you know, she's not about her mindset ain't about making millions.
Okay.
And it ain't about, you know, lifetime security. It's about getting up, going to do a hard day's work. And in this case, she's gonna be a homemaker. She's gonna stay home, take care of the home, take care of the family, and that's a great role in the world. But she's not gonna ever be that high-powered thinker
Okay.
that he is. And he needs to understand that she'll be a great for him. She'll be a great fit for him if she can play her role and he can play his role. And she can accept you for being an A personality, high power thing. She'll follow your lead. She'll every time you give her, hey baby, you can help me in this way or this way. She jumps right on it, and she helps you, and she starts supporting you. And she don't mind if you take her somewhere new. She don't mind if you open some new doors for her. She don't mind making some changes. She don't mind making some extra sacrifices. That sometimes people don't have your vision, but they can be led. They can be coached. They can be nurtured. They can be helped to understand a greater place than they expected for their own life. But if you're trying to take somebody somewhere and they can't add to the vision positively, and they're not adding to the vision passively, then they got to get off the road to the vision because they're hurting the vision. They're hurting the vision, right? Because they're actually keeping you from the goal, right? And then you have to decide, well, is the love that we have more important than what I envision?
And we already said it. Love is not enough.
But love is not enough. But if you got a wife and 3 kids, sometimes you may need to back down from being millionaireism and just get a good, comfortable space and take care of this family. Because your dreaming might just leave the family.
To me, it's that sort of adjustment. It's an adjustment because sometimes my ego and my goal setting could be very high. So it's an adjustment, but it has to still align with some of the stuff that we put in place. Feel me? I might want way more than what we said we'll seek it out there. And her mindset is on what we agreed to. She might not agree to all what I'm trying to do. Now that's where my lack of communication has to get checked. So again, this is where we can do some corrective actions without leaving each other. And that's where I say a lot of times we put ourselves in position to leave and we are the problem. You didn't talk to her. You didn't help build up. She just got to a point of what you discussed and you forgot to finish off. It happens. We back up. We had that communication and then she has a better understanding what her role could be. That keeps other people coming into what no need to be. It is your teamwork will make a great dream work. And it might not be all that money. It doesn't always have to be about money. It can be about spending time with them kids, with each other, and building a foundation. And next thing you know, the happiness overshines the money that you were saying.
That's exactly right.
That's more heavenly.
That's
That's a godly relationship without all the money. And everybody think the money makes you what it is. No, it's the relationship that you and the respect that you have and how you understand the whole goal setting and the mind setting of strong people that's led by God, that has a godliness that shows through, and it's not about hurt. It shouldn't be hurting. I shouldn't hurt her. She shouldn't hurt you. And we shouldn't be hurting the world. We shouldn't be doing some of the stuff that's going on right now. Some of this stuff is ludicrous. We are purposely hurting one to get ahead. And that's all you want is to be something, and then you get miserable when you're there.
And ask yourself this question, and we all have to probably do a little research here, right? But you ever known a couple who was unhappy with one another? And each one of the people in the couple had a vision for, and we should be so much further. And so they break up and they move on to their next relationship. And I wonder how many actually achieve what they plan to achieve by doing the breakup. Like you broke up, but you still ain't did shit more. You broke up, and it wasn't the reason why you weren't achieving the goal that you expected. You know what I mean? So
I'm gonna give you a guess in that scenario.
But
my guess is if you was really driven, then when you broke up, you would be striving for what you really was trying to do. If you was playing the damn game and you was just using this as leverage, you're not gonna be doing shit.
You're not gonna
because see, you wasn't about that.
That's right.
You ain't even about that life.
That's right.
You talking about getting in the gym that you can't play nothing with. So that's where I see the difference. Because a real person gonna try to go, he gonna stay motivated to do it. Half the time people take away from you and it kill your motivation.
I'm gonna tell you what. There's this woman. I was introduced to this woman and she started talking about how well she take care of herself. Right? And, she liked to work out and she, eating healthy and take vitamins. And a couple of weeks later, I'm like, You don't give a damn about yourself.
I already finished what you say. I ain't even saying that. So
That's one thing, but you did so completely different.
you look something different.
You look.
I don't see what you're talking.
Yeah, I heard you talk about how well you take care of yourself, but the first time I reached around your waist, I didn't treat you that.
I'm why you what? You got a beard?
I felt some ham hocks and pork chops. I didn't feel no asparagus and Brussels sprouts. You know what I'm saying?
I hate to do this, but you're so funny right now because
Yeah.
I met somebody that was vegan. I was like, when did you start? No, I don't end like that. Oh, yeah, I do that. When you
You must have just read that. And it's okay to have making a recent change, but don't tell me the story that you've been thinking about this for years.
if we don't see it,
Because you only been thinking about it
a minute.
a bit, yeah,
A minute.
a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm saying.
But listen, are you just seeing the beauty, or are you listening to the message? We oftentimes in anything and everything part of the world, we can get trapped in how things look, how things appear. We can get trapped into the perception of things. We get trapped into looking at something and creating our own vision about it, rather than looking at what's real. The question is, are you listening to the real messages that are coming out? Are you paying attention to the real story? Are you watching the real behavior?
Hello.
Are you asking a real question? Are you seeking real answers? Are you looking for the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Or are you going to be buried into a fallacy until it finally gets on your last nerves, and then you'll come out and realize it is the truth? This person was not for me. This person does not believe in taking care of business. This person is not a loving and caring. This person is not respectful. Don't find yourself down the road. I think tiptoeing through the tulips is the best way to get to the wholeness of a relationship. In other words, don't lean on something until you know you can count on it. And when you know you can count on it, that means you have vetted it. And this is a person who will be honest with you, and you can lean on that. This is a person who will go hard for you, and you can lean on that. Don't wait till a couple of years down the road and have missed a couple of opportunities because you're thinking you can count on this person, and they keep showing you that they can't, that you can't. Right? And so I don't know what more it is to say on the subject.
I will tell you one thing more is when you're with somebody and when you're not with somebody, are they able to do what they've been doing? It's one of the things I can tell you, great people tend to do what they say they're going to do.
Right.
Weak people fall off in what they say.
That's right.
And again, you might have realized that was a good one because he's still doing what he do. And that could be a strength. And then the ones that fall off could be a happiness because I never wanted to do what he lose.
Yeah.
Because a loser keeps on losing and keep on not doing.
That's right.
And again, I hate for you to say you got to leave somebody to recognize it, but something obvious when you stop looking at the beauty or a vision and you start listening to the message of them not being who they say they are.
Yeah. Listening to the message is the key to the equation, and we'll close our show out with that. This has been Bar Talk with Jake.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jake. And we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We hope you got something meaningful out of the show. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8 Facebook Live. Please like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends and family.
Please do.
And never forget, folks, that we have been doing this, and we only do this because we love you.
Yes.
We certainly appreciate you.
All day.
And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.